Hello! Welcome, moms, dads, boys, girls, and fellow teachers. It's wonderful to be meeting with you today. Welcome to our C1 Advanced Cambridge English Qualifications webinar today. I'm so excited to be your host. My name is Laurie. Let's begin. Okay, as I said, we're going to have our C1 Advanced webinar. We're going to learn some tips and tricks about this exam and how to prepare for it. Are you ready? Great, let's begin. First, I would like to know, what do you know or understand about the C1 Advanced exam? I'd love to hear some of your thoughts and your understanding. Okay, send me some messages in the chat. I'd love to know. Great. Oh, it comes after the FCE exam. Oh, thank you. Yes. Okay, so it is our higher level qualification that you receive. It proves that you have the knowledge and fluency to work in an English speaking environment. It proves that you can go to an English speaking university. So this is a fantastic qualification to receive. Good. Oh, yes, it gives you the confidence to speak in meetings and seminars. Oh, fantastic. You learn to express yourself. Oh, good. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for your responses. Oh, I love it. Good. Okay. It also helps you to prepare for the next level, which is your C2 proficiency. Good. Great. You guys all seem to be on the board today. Well done. Okay, I'd love to know which skills are tested in the C1 Advanced. I'm going to set up a poll for this so that you can choose your answers. But here are the options. A, reading, writing, listening, and speaking. B, reading and use of English, writing, listening, and speaking. Or is the answer C, reading and use of English, writing, and listening? So here is the poll for today. Come on, everyone, choose your answers. What do you think are the skills that are tested? Good, I can see some answers coming through. Fantastic. Okay, I'm going to give it a few more seconds. Super, everyone. You seem to have gotten it correct. Oh. Okay. Okay, I'm going to end the poll now so that you can see our results. Okay. There we go. Some of you have said A, reading, writing, listening, speaking. And some of you have said B, reading and use of English, writing, listening, and speaking. Well, let me give you the answer. The answer to this poll is, drumroll, yes, it's B. Okay, so reading and use of English, writing, listening, and speaking. Great job to everyone who got that correct. Well done. So we're going to now take a closer look at each of these skills. Okay, first we're going to look at reading and use of English. Okay, so why is this important in our exam? Okay, so here are some points about this section in the exam. First, it's got 8 parts in total. Okay, in parts 1 to 4, they test grammar and vocabulary skills, and in part 5 to 8, they test reading and comprehension. Okay, there are a total of 56 questions. Yes. I know you can do it. With some practice, of course. It's super important to know how your exam is broken up into different sections. So please feel free to write some notes about the different sections. The next part we're going to look at is writing. Okay. Now, writing is divided into 2 parts. Part 1 is compulsory. Okay, these questions, you have to answer them. But lucky for you, in part 2, you can choose one of the 3 questions. Okay, in total, that section is 20% of the exam. But you have different types of tasks when it comes to writing. Okay, so these are some examples. You have in part 1, which is compulsory, you have an email, letter, essay, review, and proposal. Okay, so get practicing. Okay, fantastic. Now the next section, does anyone have any questions about these? Please feel free as we go along to send me those questions about the different sections. I'd love to hear from you. Okay, our next section is listening. Yes, you heard me, listening. Okay, now listening is divided into these sections, 4 parts in total. There are 30 questions, and the full listening portion of the exam takes 40 minutes. That sounds like a long time, but it will go quickly. Okay. And finally, speaking. Ooh, this is important. Now, the speaking section is divided into 4 parts, and they are 15 minutes long. There are 3 different types of questions. The first type is with an examiner, okay? And remember, there are 2 examiners in your speaking exam. And then your next section would be with another candidate. So you'll be speaking back and forth with them. And then the next part would be on your own. Ooh, speaking on your own sounds exciting. Okay, so these are the different types of questions that you would experience during your speaking section of the exam. Okay, I have a question for you. How can you prepare for the C1 Advanced? Oh, I'd love to hear how you prepare for exams. It may not be the C1 Advanced, but how do you prepare? Oh, practice exams. Yes. Daily reading practice. That's a fantastic thing to do. Good. Yes, daily reading. Super important. Thank you. You get all that new vocabulary when you read. It's so important. But now let's take a look at what we need to know. So this is important, as I said, that we need to know what the exam includes. So familiarize yourself with the exam. Ask yourself these questions. Which skills are tested? Okay, we've just learned that, those 4 skills. How many parts are there in each of those sections? That will help you feel more prepared for this exam. How long the exam is. Okay, so how long it roughly is, and also you can know how long each portion is. Okay, what types of questions? Oh, this is important to know. What type of questions does it include? This will help you definitely feel more relaxed. You'll feel more prepared as you know these questions. What types of vocabulary do I need to know? Oh, okay, remember this is C1 advanced, so it's a higher level. And what structures should I learn? Okay, remember, ask yourself these questions and you will know and feel more confident about this exam. Okay, moving on. Okay, here are some things that we would need to do. Okay, some tips on how to prepare for this exam. Create yourself a study timetable and remember, stick to it. This is an example of what a study timetable would look like. I've got one right here. I use it all the time. I write down all my notes of what I need to do. But I definitely try to stick to each of these things that I need to accomplish. And remember to set yourself some clear targets. Okay, if you do not have any clear targets, what do you know how you're going to get there? How do you know how you get there at the end of the day? So make sure that you can achieve them. Okay, the next part is make sure that you read English articles. As mentioned by one of you, read daily. Okay, so English articles, blogs, oh, great. Newspapers, read every day. This, another point on that is newspapers will give you that vocabulary that you are looking for, especially on the higher level. Okay, practice as much as you can under exam-like conditions. Ooh, okay. Now, I'd like to ask you another question. What are exam-like conditions? I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. Please send me your messages. Exam-like conditions. Okay, yes. One of the answers here is a quiet and comfortable study room with good lighting. Yes. Okay, that is extremely important. I like the comfortable part. Okay, you will be studying quite a bit, so yes, make sure that it's comfortable. And you don't want to have all the noise around you. So yes, in your exam, it's going to be quiet. So why not make that environment quiet that you're in? So yes, your study room, thank you. You got it perfectly correct. Okay, it needs to be quiet and comfortable. And then the next part is no distractions. Okay, screens. Whew, that's a big distraction. Oh, yes, those games. And another one is your phone. Don't let it be a distraction. Say no. Say no to those distractions. Okay, so remember, exam-like conditions. You're not going to have You're not going to have a phone, sorry, a phone or a screen, or you're not going to be playing games in your exam. So make sure that when you're preparing for your exam to have none of those distractions. Oh, this is important. Okay, so for more tips and content, free webinars, and lots more, remember, go through and take a look at all our different channels. We have YouTube, we have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Pinterest. I'd love it if you go and subscribe to these channels. There are so many exciting things to go and take a look at. And I definitely know that you're going to have a lot of content to help you prepare for your exams. Okay, here are some alternative study methods. Okay, so we've got our flashcards. So make definition flashcards. That's different to picture flashcards. A definition flashcard, we'll get into it just now and I'll show you exactly what it is all about. Create mind maps. Make checklists. Okay, some more are keeping a notebook or a diary, making a list of synonyms and antonyms. I'll tell you what those are if you are unsure. And listen to the radio. Who knew that that was a study method? Now you can tell your mom or your dad, your teacher, I'm going to listen to the radio to help me study. That's extremely fun, especially when you're learning about C1, you can listen to the news. Okay. But we'll get there, So let's take a closer look at each of these alternative study methods. The first one, as I said, was the definition flashcards. Okay, now definition flashcards will help you to remember those words that you cannot describe using a picture. Okay, so it cannot be physical. So we can, for example, a picture flashcard would be you draw an apple, and at the back of your flashcard you would have the name apple. So that can help you remember. But with a definition flashcard, we can't necessarily draw that picture. So what we would need to do is, okay, we would make them ourselves. So this is how you make your flashcard. You would write that word on the one side of the flashcard right there, okay? And then on the other side, ding, you would write the definition, okay? As simple as that, but it's so effective. It's a great way to continue to remind yourself of those words that you need to understand. Okay, here is an example. Lecture. Okay, you can't draw a picture of lecture, but you can write the definition. A spoken lesson, talk, or conference. Okay, great example. Go and make your flashcards to help you. Our next study method was to make mind maps. Okay. What is a mind map and how do we make it? Okay, now think about your main concept. What is that thing that you want to learn about? Okay, for example, you want to learn about idioms. Oh, okay, so then you would write that main concept on your page. Here are some other examples: phrasal verbs, collocations. It can be any concept that you may be struggling with or need to simply understand better. Okay, so as I said, write that main concept in the center of your, whatever you have, a page, cardboard. So I'm going to write your idiom. I would like to know a little bit more. Idioms. Okay, so there's my main concept, and then you would then start to branch off and make those branches. So here, missed the boat. Okay, that's an idiom. But what does that mean? So you would write your idiom, miss the boat. Okay, let me change to a highlighter. Miss the boat. And you can branch off further. Okay, so you can write down what that means. Oh, it's too late. Okay, it's too late. And that's how you can remember those concepts. Okay, good. But please remember to keep the phrases short and precise. As I said, we're going to write that concept in the center, then you'll write what the idiom is or phrasal verb is, and then you can branch off further. Make it simple for yourself, but keep them short. Okay, so that you can refer back to it as you study. Here's a great example is, okay, so what is having a large family like? Okay, so here are our branches that branch off. You share a room. Oh, they can be positive, negative. It's anything about that main concept. Sharing responsibility, lots of love and sharing, and lack of attention. So these are concepts that branch off from our main concept. Okay, great. Our next study method was to make checklists. Let's take a closer look at what a checklist is. We have two kinds of checklists. The first let's learn what a checklist is. Okay, making a checklist will help you remember the most important things that you need to do when you study or answer exam questions. Okay. So remember, it's the important things that you write down that you need to do. As I mentioned, that there are two checklists that we can make. So our first one could be a daily checklist. How many of you make a daily checklist? I know I do. Every single day I make that checklist of what I need to do. It's your daily tasks, okay, that you need to complete. The second is situational checklists. These checklists can be used to remember the strategies and tips used when you answer exam type questions. Okay. So that would be in a situation, not necessarily every day. But remember, you must write them down in order, okay, of importance. That means the first thing on your list is the most important, okay? So whatever you feel that you may need to do, for example, when you're preparing, if your most important thing would be to practice do a practice paper, that would go at the top of your list. But then at the bottom would be the less important tasks. Okay, this is an example. Okay, so here the example says how to answer reading questions. Okay, so this is our checklist. Read the question first, okay? And once you have done that, take it off. Okay, that's so satisfying to achieve it. Make sure it's you've set yourself clear goals, things that you can check off. Okay, and then the next point was underline the keywords, look for synonyms. So these are things that you may need to do as you do your tasks. Great example. Please remember, feel free to ask me any questions as we go along. Okay. Keep a notebook. How many of you keep a notebook? I have two. One with all my ideas. And another that I use as my daily checklist. Okay. So I write all my tasks in there for a day. But let's take a closer look at what we put inside our notebooks or our diaries. Okay, so they can be used as dictionaries. Oh, interesting. You can write the words that you are unsure of in your notebook and their definitions. So almost like your flashcards, instead you just write it inside your book. And that can help you to create your own dictionary. And you can refer back to those words, and they are the most important words to you, and they apply to the exam, which is important to remember those words. You're not going to need every word in the dictionary, so write down those words that you feel are important and apply. They can also be used as a diary. Okay, what do you write in your diary? You write some ideas, your opinions. Some people write short stories and poems. Okay, so you can use that as your diary to write about your day. But here's another question for you. How else can you benefit from a notebook? Okay, so how do you benefit from your notebook? I'd love to hear or read rather what are some benefits from using your notebook. I'm going to give you some time to send me some answers, and then we'll go through it. As I mentioned, my notebook reminds me of what I need to do on a daily task, on the daily rather. It helps me to know what I need to do, and I can go back and I use it as my checklist. It's something that you need to refer back to often. Okay, fantastic. Thank you. Oh, there's a great answer. Things that you have achieved or completed. Yeah, don't forget to reward yourself once you have achieved those things. Perfect. Thank you. Okay, keeping a notebook will help you practice writing in hand. Oh, great. That's so true. This is very important since you will need to write a lot in the exam. Okay, so you'll feel more prepared for your writing exam if you write daily. So if you're writing in your notebooks on a daily, then you'll feel more prepared for it. So daily practice will help you to improve your handwriting. So your teachers or examiners will be able to read that handwriting. That won't hurt anyone. Good. Okay, now another study method is to list synonyms and antonyms. But what is a synonym? Okay. Oh, let's go back. What is a synonym? Okay, synonyms are words that have similar or the same meaning. But then what are antonyms? Yes, they're opposites. Good. Night and day. Girl and boy. Thank you. Perfect. Everybody understands that. Good. So make lists of those. So you match up those words together. So if you're using your notebook as a diary, that's fantastic. You can write synonyms there or antonyms there. So for example, if you write the word, this is just a simple one, beautiful or attractive, you can write the synonyms of that, pretty, for example. Okay, and then what would the opposite be? Ugly, unattractive. Okay, good. Okay, now the next study method was listen to the radio. Okay, so listening to the news will help you with your listening and vocabulary skills. as I mentioned, that this is C1 level, okay? So you're going to be listening to words that are much higher. So the news will help you gain that, those necessary vocabulary skills, okay? So not necessarily the music, not that the music won't help you, but the news will definitely help you. And you'll be able to learn different sentence structures as well. So go and listen to the radio. But one last thing to remember, take a break every 40 minutes while you're studying. Okay, what do you do when you take a break? I know I go and have something to eat or something to drink, but what do you do to help you just relax after studying for so long? That will still keep you, your momentum, keep you enthusiastic about your studying. Do you go play games? No. Okay, yes, chat with friends. That's super. That will also help you to practice your English skills as you practice speaking in English with someone. And listen to music. Good. That's a great break. Okay, don't forget to take it easy. But don't lose focus. Stay motivated as you take your breaks and as you practice those skills. It will help you to concentrate more if you stay focused, yes. And remember, you can do it. Yes, you can. So stay positive. Ta-da! I'm so excited for you to practice all these tips that we learned today. Thank you so much for watching our C1 Advanced webinar on how to prepare for your exam. Okay, does anyone have any questions they would like to ask me? You can send it through to the Q&A or you can send it through to the chat. Any questions at all about the C1 exam? What are some things that it can prepare you for? Okay, it will help you feel more prepared when you're writing reports, when you're working in an English speaking environment, going to an English university, preparing for, it will help you express yourself better, yes. So this is what it helps to prepare you for the future, yes. Can we find more activities on the website? Yes, of course, definitely. So let me show you. This is where you need to go and take a look. Ta-da! More content and free webinars and lots of fun things to do and practice. Remember to go and click subscribe to all our different channels. Okay, so our channels are YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Pinterest. So go now and go and subscribe. It's wonderful. It's a great learning environment. Yes, you can also find some papers that you could practice. That's important. Good. Any other questions? Okay, great. Thank you, everyone. It has been wonderful being with you today. I hope that you have an enjoyable rest of your day, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.